Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, summer session. The city's infill debate rolls into council's vacation period. Community lockdown. Police closed down a quiet street after shots were fired in Terwillegar. And run by the sun, harnessing the heat to provide a cold treat.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
The infill debate is back at City Hall today with two councillors absent on holidays. It's not the beginning of summer vacation City Council wanted, but the mayor says it is something councillors should have seen coming. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Zoning and infill housing are back on the agenda at City Hall. The first 3 days of the public hearing were capped off with this exchange between councillors as they debated extending the meeting into council's summer break.
I've been able to adjust my schedule for the most part. I will have to step away.
Point of order. That was so rude, Mr. Mayor. That was so f***ing rude. Q, Joanne, right? Q.
Today, there are 3 empty chairs in chambers. Councillors Hamilton and Cardmell told their colleagues last week it was too late to change their vacation plans. Cardmell's mayoral campaign put out a video and statements on the matter saying it is beyond disrespectful to infringe upon those plans through poor planning and disgraceful performance by City Council. This should have been managed better. The third empty chair is Erin Rutherford's. She's participating virtually from vacation in BC, as seen on her social media.
Every council member was given a notice on June 17 to adjust their schedules.
The mayor says prior notice paired with public expectations means there's no excuse to miss this debate.
Those who are not willing to participate or unable to participate, I understand that, but I think our primary obligation is to finish our work before we break.
That work centers around tweaking Edmonton's citywide zoning bylaw 18 months after it kicked in. Most councillors agree changes to building size, window coverage, and side setbacks make sense. The sticking point is changing the mid-block unit maximum from 8 down to 6. Some councillors see it as a compromise based more on feelings than hard data.
And the reason that matters is because we don't live in a city of numbers, we live in a city of people. And
CTV's Jeremy Thompson joins us from City Hall tonight. So, Jer, I understand council has reached a decision on this matter late this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. They've made a number of votes so far, and I'll go over those. They are just in the finishing stages now of voting and putting forward a few more amendments to this. But the big vote was they wanted to isolate that change from 8 units mid-block down to 6 unit mid-block. That is not happening. So they voted to keep 8 units mid-block for now. It was a close vote, 6-5. It potentially could have gone differently had those 2 other councillors been here to participate in that vote. So it will stay the same as it is right now, but council is pledging to do more consultation on that change in particular. That really intensive work is set to be done and then come back to council at some point in the beginning of 2027. So still a ways away from talking more about that change, and everything else in that zoning bylaw proposed changes was passed. The smaller buildings, the more windows on the front, those sorts of things. I was able to chat with a few residents who stuck it out through this lengthy public hearing today. You know, they say it's all well and good to talk more about that change to the mid-block unit maximum. They just worry what will happen to their neighborhoods and their neighbors in the meantime while that 8-unit multiplex is still possible in most residential lots. Matt.
All right. CTV's Jeremy Thompson live at City Hall tonight. Thank you. The opening of the Borden natural swimming pool this summer has been delayed. The city says while workers were preparing for it to open, a small leak was discovered in one of the pool basins. Repairs need to be made before the pool is filled. It was originally scheduled to open back in June. The opening is now rescheduled for the end of July. The pool in Borden Park is Canada's first public man-made natural swimming pool that's cleaned using natural filters instead of chemicals. People who live in Terwillegar say they're shocked by a shooting that locked down part of their community. Police say shots were fired near South Terwillegar Boulevard on 156th Street yesterday afternoon. Witnesses say it happened on the street in front of a condo building. Police say after the shots were fired, two men took off in a car. They then got out and ran into the Cameron Heights ravine where officers arrested them. One woman says she was walking her dog when she heard sounds she didn't initially realize was gunfire.
I was like, no, that's a gunshot. So I picked up my dog and I started running down the back alley. I mean, of course, it's kind of surprising. You don't expect that, especially in this neighborhood. In Terwillegar, I always thought it was like a pretty safe neighborhood. But I think I'm pretty aware that there's good and bad that just happens everywhere.
The Edmonton Police Service says charges are pending. A financial company is predicting Alberta natural gas prices will jump next year. The prediction is coming from Deloitte. The country's first West Coast export facility is now operating, giving Alberta producers an outlet for their gas to markets beyond the United States. Last week, LNG Canada shipped its first cargo of ultra-chilled gas across the Pacific from Kitimat, BC to Asia. Deloitte says that will give producers the confidence they need to invest in new drilling. It's also warning people using natural gas to heat their homes can expect their bills to increase. New data shows Alberta's public investment fund spent a little less than $8 million last year in severance to laid-off executives. Chief Investment Officer Marlene Puffer received nearly $6 million in wages and benefits last September when she was let go. Puffer was there for about 20 months. Weeks later, AIMCO fired the entire board. Former Prime Minister Stephen Harper is now board chair. AIMCO manages $180 billion in pension money for public employees in Alberta. The report on severance pay came in its annual report, released in late June. A new ice cream pop-up at Crestwood Community Hall is hoping to provide a lot of joy with little environmental impact. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has the scoop.
There's no better way to beat the heat than with a cold treat. Bestie Ice Cream is looking to power its dessert with sunshine all summer long with this solar-paneled sea container.
And so this sort of lets us make the most of the summer season in neighborhoods where we wouldn't necessarily otherwise open a full shop.
The pop-up sits outside Crestwood Community Hall. Kind Ice Cream is the business behind Bestie. It says one of its core values is kindness to the environment.
So when we were trying to conceptualize the shop, we knew that it would be off the grid, but it didn't really sit right with us to just have this like fully generator-powered shop.
Instead, they went with this, a sea container that uses 7 solar panels from local green energy company Grengen to keep their ice cream cold, crucial for customers.
We get a lot of sun in the summer too, so why not?
And ice cream won't melt. This is the first time we've done like a commercial shop, and it was really quite a fun project to do, to be honest.
Grengen founder Connie Stacy says on a cloudy day, batteries full of stored solar energy are used with a backup generator as a last resort.
These are actually manufactured here in Edmonton, which I'm super proud of. And so this is where all the stored energy goes.
With 9 staple flavors to choose from, Bestie plans to bring more sea container shops to other communities down the road.
It's getting to look into neighborhoods that don't have a lot of, commercial hubs that wouldn't necessarily have a full-blown ice cream shop, but could definitely sustain a summer shop.
With the power to create joy, the only chance it'll melt is once it's in your hands.
Does the ice cream taste any different?
I've already been on it.
Nope, tastes just as good as it always does.
Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton Oilers forward Leon Draisaitl is paying it forward in his hometown.
Sind hier Mädels dabei? Nee. Doch, wir haben beides, wir haben alles dabei. Alles gut? Ja.
Draisaitl was recently in Cologne, Germany to donate hockey equipment to the city's only junior hockey program. Draisaitl met with players from Jungheinja, or the Young Sharks. That's the youth division of the German professional league Cologne Sharks. Draisaitl and the NHLPA Goals and Dreams program is giving the club 58 full sets of hockey equipment over 2 seasons. That's 29 sets a season to match Draisaitl's jersey number. Officials with the Young Sharks say the children had a wonderful day. They will certainly not forget in a hurry. Corey, I'm sure kids in Edmonton are having a great time out there in the weather. Another warm one for us.
Yeah, probably the spray parks. Very busy today. People trying to keep cool. It was hot. And as we take a look outside right now, we're seeing a mix of sun and cloud. This is looking towards downtown from the north side of downtown, so looking to the southwest. A little bit of cloud, so maybe creating some shadows to find a little bit of relief from some of the heat. Let's take a look at our temperature. We are at 31 right now. Wind has eased a little bit. We were seeing gusts around 30 kilometers per hour, a little bit lighter now. We did make it to 32 today. So we have dropped a degree in the last hour. Still quite warm, though, at 31. Our record for today was 33. We set that back last year. So very close to that today. Last July, it was very hot. We had 12 days at or above 30 degrees. So far, we have 2 this July. Not as warm as what we saw last year, but still pretty good. After today, our temperatures become more seasonal for Wednesday as well as Thursday, a little bit above for Friday, but kind of riding that wave a little bit. As we get into next week, next Wednesday, possibly 30 once again. So we could see another 30-day in the extended forecast. As we take a look right now at the forecast for us here in Edmonton, as we go throughout the evening, it'll be a slow cool off, and then overnight we see our temperature drop to 16. Tomorrow, as we go throughout the day, it'll be a mix of sun and cloud, a little bit of a breeze. As we go throughout the afternoon, a slight risk we could see some scattered showers, possibly some thunder showers, about a 30% chance, but we do see an increased risk for Thursday, about a 40% chance. 23 again. Friday, a little bit warmer, above average for Friday, 27 for a high with a mix of sun and cloud. I'll take a look at your 10-day or 5-day forecast next time we chat weather.
All right, Corey, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, local lineup. 3 Edmontonians representing the Canadian men's rugby team in front of a hometown crowd.
I'm glad I stuck with it because being able to be with the boys and represent this country is incredible.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
The Canadian men's rugby team has been training in Edmonton, preparing to host Belgium and Spain at Clark Stadium. The CTV's Amanda Anderson reports 3 local players have made the cut, getting a chance to represent their country in front of a hometown crowd.
Check. Getting to play rugby wasn't easy for Dia Voltkotza, growing up in Grande Cache, Alberta.
We had a 7s team, so we had that for a year or 2, but not a lot of rugby in a small town, more of a hockey town, of course.
Unable to kick his passion for the game, his parents would drive him to Edmonton to play.
4 hours one way, 4 hours back, so I owe a lot to them. They helped me to get where I am today.
Today, he's preparing to represent Canada as the men's rugby team kicks off its 2025 season at Clark Stadium in Edmonton.
But I'm glad I stuck with it because being able to be with the boys and represent this country is incredible.
2 other local men, Brock Gallagher and Austin Creighton, also made the Canadian squad.
That's every kid's dream, growing up playing this sport, right? So, yeah, just trying to make dreams come to reality here.
The team will take on Belgium Saturday, then go head-to-head with Spain the following Friday. Games head coach Stephen Meehan says are important.
They give us the opportunity to test out some systems and also look at some combinations in regards to, inside the team, with our players. It gives the players the opportunity to sort of feel their way, but, ultimately you want to make a winning start.
A winning start, Meehan hopes, will give players momentum. They need to beat the U.S. in August to qualify for a spot in the Men's Rugby World Cup.
I think it was the first time that Canada had missed out in 2023, but this is our first game together, so we've had to make some changes to try and give ourselves the best opportunity to get back in.
As the team prepares to tackle the season, the local players are looking forward to starting in front of a hometown crowd.
You want the support, you want your people behind you, backing you.
The pressure helps you play better, at least in my mind, and I think also just when I have people I know in this crowd, it makes me want to play harder or better.
Tickets for both upcoming games are still available. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
11 new teams are competing in the Amazing Race Canada, and it all starts tonight in Edmonton.
The Commonwealth Stadium, home of the Edmonton Elks, and welcome to Season 11 of the Amazing Race Canada.
The winners of last season are from Edmonton, and now the city has another chance at the crown. As many fans already know, Oilers superfan Magoo and his wife Skylene are competing this season. Host John Montgomery spoke to CTV Morning Live today. He says the pair bring a certain energy to the competition.
Skylene and Blair, Nippy and Magoo are going to be bringing it in spades and representing the community, representing their families, representing the people in their lives that are most important to them. And they're going to do it in how you've come to know superfan Magoo, in a lot of energy with his Edmonton style, of course, in check.
Season 11 of The Amazing Race Canada premieres tonight at 9 o'clock on CTV. Still to come tonight on CTV News, a novel idea. How local libraries are rewarding kids for reading this summer.
So it really incentivizes the time and effort that they're putting in.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The St. Albert Library wants to get kids reading this summer. It's enticing them through its Summer Reading Game Challenge. Last year, more than 1 million minutes of reading were recorded. The library is looking to break that record this year. The challenge is open to all kids. They can set their own goals and track their reading time.
For some kids, they might spend half an hour reading and read 5 chapters of a book. Other kids, they spend the same amount of time reading, the same amount of effort, and maybe they get through 1 or 2 chapters of a book. So it really incentivizes the time and effort that they're putting in.
At the downtown location, there is an interactive setup known as the Mad Lab. Kids can play inside and solve different mysteries. The library says more than 1,800 kids have signed up. Well, Corey's been reading into the forecast for us today, and pretty nice day to just be out there, maybe in the hammock, under some shade, reading a book, avoiding that 30-degree heat.
Yeah, trying to find a way to stay cool, whether it's, like you said, in the shade or maybe outside in an air-conditioned office, or hey, the air conditioning feels good here, right? Good right here. As we take a live look outside, this is the view through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed right, or it's free. 31. We've seen a lot of cloud come in. It's been coming in from the west-northwest. We will see that break up a little bit later on into the evening, but some cloud has come in, maybe providing a little bit of shade out there. Today, we made it up to 32. Yesterday, 25, so we're now at 4 days above average seasonal high. So we're starting to see things become a little bit warmer. Tomorrow, as well as Thursday, we'll see temperatures around average seasonal high, so a little bit of a drop. There are some heat warnings in the province, areas east of Calgary, east of Olds, all the way to the Saskatchewan border, and then south to Brooks, as well as Medicine Hat. Those areas are seeing the heat last a little bit longer. We're going to get a break from it tomorrow, but it'll still be dominating a little bit in the southeast parts of the province. Temperature-wise, though, we've been very close to what they've been experiencing today. Areas to the west-northwest, we've got some rain and showers up towards Spirit River, Grand Prairie, and Grand Cache. That's pulling to the east-northeast. For us, we've got some cloud coming into the picture. No showers associated with that, just the cloud cover. And as we take a look at the futurecast, areas to the north could see some scattered thunderstorms as we progress throughout the evening. That'll stay north of the city. Partly cloudy for us, partly cloudy overnight, and then for tomorrow we start off a little bit more cloud in the morning, and then we get to a mix of sun and cloud. I've put in a slight risk of some scattered thunderstorms for tomorrow. Better risk east and southeast of the city, Vegreville, Camrose, but that could shift a little bit closer to us. So slight chance as we go throughout the early afternoon tomorrow, and then we start to see some clearing, and then a bit of a repeat for Thursday. Overnight, 26 heading into the overnight period, 16 to start tomorrow morning, and then 23 for a high. A mix of sun and cloud. Again, a slight risk. We could see some afternoon thunderstorms, but a greater risk east and southeast of the city. As we head into Thursday, 23 once again. A 40% chance we could see some thunderstorms, so a little bit of a greater risk come Thursday. Friday, mainly sunny, 25, and there is your weekend forecast. Saturday, 25 with a mix of sun and cloud, and it looks like Sunday we cool a little bit. just below average seasonal high, 20 for a high, and there's a chance that we could see some scattered showers as we go throughout the day. So if you're planning on outdoor activities at this point, it looks like Saturday for the weekend is going to be where we'll see a little bit more sun as we have a chance of showers come Sunday. Again, for today, as we go throughout the evening, partly cloudy. That's the case for tomorrow, and just a slight risk we could see some afternoon thunderstorms, a high of 23. Matt.
All right, Corey, thank you. Airlines are adapting to changing travel patterns as fewer Canadians head south to the United States. Calgary-based airline WestJet has added direct flights to Halifax, Nova Scotia and Deer Lake, Newfoundland from major cities across the country. Air Canada has also expanded its schedule across the East Coast. Porter Airlines says there has been 20% more domestic bookings from June through August compared to last year.
We go where the demand is. The overall PEI market is newer to us, but we've been able to grow our presence in there because people have tried us over the years and they want to keep trying us on all the markets they can.
WestJet's winter schedule includes 5 new destinations for sunseekers outside of the United States. Guadalajara and Tepic in Mexico, Havana, Cuba, Managua, Nicaragua, and Panama City are on the list. The airline has also bumped up its Mexico City service to a year-round schedule. Stay with us. Much more to come on CTV News when we come back.
CTV News.
Programming brought to you by Federated Co-ops. Find your summer sweepstakes. Unlock your chances to win at your local co-op.
Coming up on CTV News at 6, police release a picture to help identify a woman who was found dead in West Edmonton last month. Also, how the heat is being handled at the greatest outdoor show on earth, the Calgary Stampede. And more on how 2 local reading programs are bringing books to children and adults this summer. We'll tell you how you can participate in the fun. Those stories and much more on CTV News at 6 with Jeff Hastings. A once popular Canadian chocolate bar will soon disappear. Jersey Milk bars were first developed by dairy brand William Nielsen in 1924 and only produced in Canada. Production has dropped after a series of acquisitions. A spokesperson for the company says a recent review shows customers prefer buying pure milk chocolate bars, so Jersey Milk is no more. The company says ending production will not result in any job losses. At the world premiere of the new Superman movie, E-Talk spoke with one of the film's stars who's from Edmonton.
This is crazy. I had a comic book rack in my room when I was a kid. I was steeped in all of this stuff, and here I am. It's my job. I'm living it. I'm literally living the dream.
Nathan Fillion stars in the movie. He's not Superman, though. He's the Green Lantern. And as you can see on his finger, he helped himself to one of the props from the film. Fillion says he loved playing the role.
It's all the stuff I got in trouble for as a kid. Daydreaming, drawing in the margins of my binders when I should have been studying or taking notes. And who's laughing now?
Superman hits theaters Friday. That's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.